Greetings and felicitations, viewers. You join me while I have made more progress on the 9/11 project. So, for the last 5 months or so, I'll show you what I've been up to. Okay, you join me after I just cut out this fender piece here. This one, which had all the rust. Now, what I'm doing is exposing more of it. So we're gonna have to fabricate a couple pieces here. So we're gonna have to fabricate a piece that goes here and then meets up right here. There's kind of a gap in between the two, and then we're gonna have to figure something out under here because it's still pretty jinkety janked. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get something fabbed up and put it on there. And we have this new fender piece, nice and shiny, on there that sits flush, and we're gonna have to butt weld it. So now we're getting things nice and prepped for welding, so we're on the home stretch, sort of. Or I guess we'll be on the home stretch once we fabricate things. I think that's gonna be the hardest part, is fabricating. Done is I've drilled out the top layer of the longitudinal, or the lateral, as well as the bracket piece. And then to get at the bottom, since we're replacing both of these, I'm just gonna cut it with my angle grinder and maybe a Dremel later, and then we can unbutton this bottom section and get it out. I think that's the easiest way to do it. In the meantime though, I'm going to get started on drilling out all the lateral spot welds, and later on we're going to drill out the latch plate spot welds as well. We also need to fix this seam here, bend it down, hammer it back, so on and so forth. So we're trying to avoid any sort of major fabrication because we're not really equipped to do that. So for peace of mind and I guess better fitment, we're just gonna go with those replacement panels. They should actually be here today. So yeah, the suspension pan is it's a rough fit right here. And it's being held on by our jig, so you can kind of see that our jig works. But then we've decided that we're going to replace this entire lateral, so from here going all the way back to that corner, and then we're going to replace this front latch plate because it's not properly mating up with the front pan here. Okay. So I've made even more progress. I'm just working on removing the latch panel now, and I'll show you. I've removed the lateral, as you can see, and we've just placed this on temporarily. And I'm working on removing the front latch panel, and we just got those pieces. That's a latch panel, and then there's the lateral back there. So we're gonna have to cut this right here and butt weld it there. And then we're gonna have to cut that one, make it a little bit smoother, and then butt weld that section. But luckily we have this point here for the cross member, one of the bolts that goes through there, as a reference. So yeah, we're gonna try and do that. And once I do this, it'll be some more cleanup, and then we can get ready for welding. We should be all prepped for welding now. For in the car, that is. I'm still working on stripping this latch plate, but you can see it's nice and shiny and pretty much ready for welding. We're gonna have to do some practice on these sheet metal coupons over here and do some butt welds and some spot welds.
Alright, there have been some developments in this here project. I apologize that I did not get it on video. I was away at school, so after what I had showed you last, my dad just kind of took over the project, and we're at the stage where we are now, so I'll show you what's occurred.
So what he has done, he has put in the new latch plate, and the suspension pan is sitting on the jig, and it is welded up to meet the rest of that, just tacked on for now. And then the fender piece is tacked on as well. So we are making pretty decent headway, and what we got to do now is just simply fill in these spot welds, and then there's a matter of finishing, of course, grinding and making it look nice. But I guess it doesn't have to look too nice, because nobody's going to really be seeing this anyways. So yeah, this has been a pretty satisfying thing. Okay, there's been more progress. The fender piece has been fully butt welded, as well as the where the pan meets up with the other part of the pan. And then here it has also been spot welded, as well as here. So what's left now is the latch plate needs to be... Oh wait, oh, I did not see this. I guess it's been welded here too. He's done much more work than I thought he has. So yeah, he's just kind of stopped there. But wow, that's a lot of progress. Anyways, so what's left is this lateral needs to be spot welded. We've decided to do that from the outside because there's already a bunch of holes drilled here. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna drill that from the outside, and then this piece, of course, needs to be drilled and then welded too. And finally, a little piece has to be fabricated for here because I kind of messed up a little bit on that when I took the pan off, so that'll all get sorted. Okay, so we're done with welding in the lateral and the support brackets. Now we just have to primer this, make sure it doesn't rust, put other stuff on. Alright, so as you had seen previously, we're pretty well underway getting the pan all back in, and there's just a few pieces left to weld. And as you can see here, there's already paint on it, and we've finished welding those pieces in. I'm very sorry, I apologize I didn't document any of that, but I just kind of didn't really want to do any more filming. I just kind of wanted to grind and get it done. So I'll just give you a little walk around of what's been done and what it looks like now. Okay, so we'll just start on the inside. This gas tank support has been welded in, obviously, and then we finish welding in here for the main suspension pan part. As well as I was talking in the last little bit here, we still need to weld the lateral back in. That's been welded in, as well as the support bracket and battery tray here. And then finally, the missing piece was just this part, the fender or bumper support bracket. As well as it's been undercoated and cleaned up very nicely and painted black here, and then on the front painted with the blue, and then obviously the black gloss inside, which looks a lot better. And there's just one last thing I wanted to talk about here is this piece was just a little bit rusted out. I don't know where it went, otherwise I would show you, but yeah, it's just, we had to clean it up a little bit, just because there was a little bit of corrosion. So the plan is to just take one of the old pieces that we cut off that didn't have much rust on it, cherry pick that, and then fabricate something for here. That shouldn't be a big deal. But other than that, like, I guess I would say that the car is completely rust-free now, which is very good news. So I think I'm going to call this the end of the suspension pan rebuilding process. It was never really meant to be like a how-to series, so it was just kind of like, you come along with me for the ride and I'll show you what I'm doing. But I hope people enjoyed it, and there's going to be a fair bit more that we do, so I'm going to also document that as well. So I'll be seeing you guys later.